Hey YouTube, Jim here. Welcome to Top 10 Archive. We're once again hitting the road, exploring our great big world with a stop at the South American country of Venezuela. Right across the pond from Cuba, Puerto Rico, and Florida, Venezuela is a land ripe with exotic landscapes, political strife, and most importantly, arepas. As we pack for our trip to Venezuela, be sure to give us a subscribe and click the bell to be notified of future videos. Liked traveling with us? Then like the video and leave a comment with where you'd like to go next.
Number 10. The Sights of Venezuela. Look at that, we've just arrived and Jimsy is already off sightseeing. He has a keen eye for tourist attractions, which is why he set his sights on, what's that, Jimsy? The Canema National Park? Now I'm sure he'll make his way over to Angel Falls, the world's highest uninterrupted waterfall at 3,211 feet high. You'd be making a mistake if you missed out on the Morrocoy and Mochima National Parks, but there's more than natural sights to explore. Check out the National Pantheon, where the nation's most prominent figures were buried, the birthplace of Simón Bolívar, and the San Carlos de Borromeo Fortress. Number 9. Famous Venezuelans. Plenty of faces from Venezuela have graced our television screens, including actor Edgar Ramirez, model and actress Chiquinquirá Delgado, and Roswell actress Mahandra Delfino. It's not all about stars, however, as many notable names have hailed from the South American country. Names you may recognize also include former President Hugo Chavez, Simón Bolívar, or Antonio José de Sucre, composer Ronaldo Hahn, baseball pitcher Felix Hernandez, and its slew of beauty pageant winners like Amar Aristeguieta, Irene Esser, Sarah Angelini, and Maria de las da Silva. Number 8. Venezuela's Red Devils of Yare. A rich culture steeped in hundreds of years of history is responsible for many of the festivals held in Venezuela each year. Of its more popular celebrations is the Red Devils of Yare, or Dancing Devils of Yare. The religious festival is celebrated on the Feast of Corpus Christi and sees attendees dressing as Red Devils, performing dances and playing music. The Red Devils of Yare celebrates the presence of Christ in the Eucharist and dates back to the mid-18th century with the early celebrations of Corpus Christi. The Red Devils of Yare refers to one guild of 11 that worship the Blessed Sacrament. Number 7. Inventions from Venezuela. Though early Spanish rulers didn't promote education in territories like Venezuela, that didn't stop great minds from emerging from the South American country. Several notable inventors have hailed from Venezuela and have been responsible for giving the world useful implements like the diamond knife and formulas for the degradation of fossil-based high-density plastics. Ignacio Laris was largely responsible for the trademark on Oremulsion, a bitumen-based fuel used for generating electricity. Gabriel Ricón Mora's research led to the design of silicon-based microsystems running on small batteries, or fuel cells capable of using light and temperature to harness energy. Number 6. Your coffee supplier, for now. When the Spanish conquerors came to Venezuela in the late 1800s, they brought with them the resources locals needed to start producing coffee. When they started growing coffee beans in the Premontane forest of the Andes Mountains, they likely didn't know that Venezuela would eventually be a leading supplier of coffee across the world. As rich as coffee production was in the 19th century, however, by the 20th century, soil erosion and poor farming practices started to hinder crops. The decline has continued, and in the 2016-2017 marketing year, it was estimated that the Venezuelan market had to reduce production by 400,000 bags. Number 5. The Timeless Guararo Indians. In the United States, Native Americans were mostly forced to adapt to modern ways of life. The Guararo of South America, found mostly in the Orinoco River delta of Venezuela, have avoided the modernization of Venezuela and retained much of their earlier culture. The Guararo survived through hunting, fishing, and gathering, and still live inside hatch homes just off of the river. It's how they've lived for more than 100 years, and there doesn't seem to be any changing in that, despite the modern world being a relatively short distance away. Number 4. Venezuelan cuisine. Slow down there, Jimsy. You'll give yourself a stomachache eating all those arepas. Arepas, by the way, is an invention of Venezuela made from a ground maize dough and commonly filled with beef, avocado, and yellow cheese, though it'll vary widely throughout the country. You'll also likely find restaurants serving mandoca, a deep-fried cornmeal ring, casabe, a yucca-based bread, and perico, a scrambled egg dish with tomato and onions. Would you also believe that Venezuela is considered second in the world when it comes to consumption of pasta? The average amount of pasta eaten per household is approximately 28 pounds a year. Number 3. Venezuelan World Records. Venezuela, like many other countries, isn't shy about breaking records. The records its people break may be a little strange at times, but it's still worth boasting about. Where else would you be able to find the largest arepa, which was measured at 1,086 pounds in 2011? In 2007, Hermano Pietro Simoli earned the nation the record for the longest broadband wireless connection, while Jason Orlando Rodriguez Hernandez and his giant loppers walked away with the record for the largest feet on a living person in 2014. The list goes on with the longest career as a teacher, longest centipede, and unfortunately, the highest mudslide death toll. Number 2. Venezuelan Sports. The Venezuelan Football Federation oversees one of the country's more popular sports, what we Americans call soccer. It was founded more than 90 years ago and became an official affiliation in 1952. But football isn't the only sport you'll find popularized in the South American country. Venezuelans also have adopted baseball, and the country's league, the Venezuelan Professional Baseball League, has even seen players recruited by the American Major League. Other sports you may catch on Venezuelan TV includes toros coleados, a form of bullfighting, tennis, rugby, and basketball. Number 1. The Constitution of Venezuela. Though the United States has been sitting on the same constitution since its ratification in 1788, albeit with a few alterations, Venezuela is currently on its 26th constitution. The most recent document was drafted in 1999 and officially adopted in December of that year, replacing the 1961 Constitution. President Hugo Chavez pushed for the new constitution and brought about many socio-economic changes and an official name change of the country from República de Venezuela to the República Bolivariana de Venezuela. The new constitution created 2 additional branches of government, removed the state financing of political parties, and strengthened basic human rights like the freedom of expression, assembly, and the socio-economic rights like the right to employment, housing, and health care.
So how did you like Venezuela, Jimsy? How was the food? There's some arepas left over in the fridge? Boy, we gotta end this thing fast. Hey everyone, Jim here. We hope you like Jimsy, our newest recruit to the team. Now, he may just look like a plush toy to a lot of you watching, but he really does represent so much more. Our friends over at Budsies.com aims to bring beautiful custom-sewn stuffed animals to life from any drawing or photo. And when we say to life, we mean to life. Just look at some of these testimonies. If you want to bring a smile to a child's face and have their creations come to life, head over to Budsies.com. And if you want to bring a smile to this old man's face, use our referral link found in the description so we can make a few extra bucks. Hey, we're almost out of coffee here, and our crew's falling asleep.
Where's the coffee pot?
This is what we do to kind of mess with the crew about 3 a.m. Yeah.